what happens when power meets prejudice and loses. In this powerful, true story-inspired narrative, a racist cop assaults a poised black woman on the street, only to discover she's the wife of the president. But the real story is deeper than titles and positions. It's about race, justice, and the unyielding dignity of a woman who turned a moment of violence into a national awakening. Some lessons in this world come at the cost of shame. Some awakenings arrive too late, and some moments, as brief as a slap, can rupture the thin veil of power, prejudice, and justice. It was a humid Wednesday afternoon in Washington, D.C., the kind where the air itself feels tired. On the corner of 14th and Jefferson, a woman stood quietly outside a coffee shop. Her name was Elena Carter. Dignified, graceful, dressed in an elegant cream blouse and navy slacks, with soft coils of natural hair tucked neatly into a silk scarf. She wasn't loud. She wasn't angry. She wasn't doing anything suspicious, just waiting. But that didn't matter to Officer Mark Ryland, a 12-year veteran of the force. Mark had built his career on the illusion of control. He patrolled the streets like he owned them. To him, power was not protection. It was domination. And today, he saw something he didn't like, a black woman standing still. He approached. "You waited for someone?" he asked, not kindly. Elena looked at him, not with fear, but with a calm, weary politeness. "Yes, my driver. Is something wrong?" Mark's eyes narrowed. "You can't just stand here loitering. Show me some ID." "I don't need to. I'm not doing anything illegal," she replied, her voice measured. But he wasn't hearing her voice. He was hearing everything he already believed about her, that she was uppity, defiant, a threat in lipstick. The moment spun fast. A raised voice, a demand, and then a slap. Hard, loud, public. Gasps spilled from passers-by. A cell phone flew up to record. Elena's head turned with a blow, but she didn't cry out. She simply looked back at him. That same composure, that same frightening calm. "You've made a terrible mistake, officer," she said quietly. "I am Elena Carter, wife of President David Carter." The silence that followed was deafening. Mark staggered back, as if slapped himself. Within minutes, 2 Secret Service SUVs screeched to the curb. Within hours, the nation knew. By nightfall, Officer Mark Ryland's name was trending on every platform in capital letters and fire emojis. And Elena? She didn't gloat. She didn't retaliate. She stood before cameras and gave a speech that would be remembered long after her husband's presidency. "I wasn't slapped because I'm the First Lady. I was slapped because I'm a black woman. And that truth would still exist even if I were nobody to you." Mark Ryland was fired, then indicted. But the deeper story wasn't about punishment. It was about recognition. Recognition that power doesn't shield black people from prejudice, not even when they sit beside the most powerful chair in the land. Recognition that what happened to Elena happens every day to women with no spotlight, no security detail, no national platform. And Mark? He would later write a letter from prison. "I saw a woman who didn't flinch, who didn't fear me. That's why I hit her. Not because she was dangerous, but because she made me feel small. That was my crime. That is racism." Sometimes justice arrives in silence. Sometimes the strongest voice is the one that doesn't yell. And sometimes the ones you try to break are the ones who teach you what it means to be whole. If you believe in powerful stories that challenge injustice and uplift unheard voices, subscribe now and join a community that turns truth into storytelling. Every story matters, especially the ones they try to silence.